So this air fryer keeps coming up as one of the top recommendations, not because it's flashy, not because it has a ton of features, but because it keeps winning tests. And I wanted to understand why. I've been using it, cooking with it, paying attention to the small details, and after spending some time with it, I get why this one keeps getting recommended. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what I tested, what stood out, what annoyed me, and who I honestly think this air fryer is for. Hi, I'm Meme. If you're new here, I test air fryers the way most people actually use them. No fancy setup, no perfect food styling, and more importantly, no hype. If you like these kind of detailed reviews, then be sure to subscribe. This is the Instant Pot Vortex Plus 6-in-1 air fryer. It's one of those models that shows up over and over in best air fryer lists, so I wanted to see how it actually holds up in everyday use. The first thing I noticed is the 6/4 basket shape. It's not deep, it's wide, and that actually makes a big difference because you have more cooking surface. The food isn't sitting too close to the heating element, but it's also not so far away that it takes forever to cook. I could fit 5 chicken breasts easily, my 8x8 square baking dish, and even my 9-inch round pan, which I wasn't expecting. The front panels are made up of a light stainless steel, but the body itself is very lightweight and made up of plastic. It doesn't feel premium or heavy, more practical than fancy. Overall, the cooking performance was really solid, and a lot of that comes down to Instant Pot's EvenCrisp technology. That's basically their airflow system, and you can tell it's doing its job because the food cooks evenly without a lot of effort on your part. The air fryer itself wasn't confusing to use at all. It also automatically preheats. I don't always preheat, I usually only do it for meat, chicken or fish, but I like that it's there when I need it. I started with chicken breast, cooking them gently on the roast setting so they don't dry out. Because I used a nice low temperature of 380 degrees Fahrenheit, I cooked them slightly longer for 25 minutes because they were also slightly big in size, and these cooked really well. Right after, I used the dash of water hack to loosen the chicken juices and coat my vegetables in them, then removed the tray and cooked my veggies directly in the basket, also using the roast setting for about 10 to 12 minutes. These turned out amazing, tender with a slight crunch, not charred or dry. The chicken breasts were juicy and tender. I wasn't aiming for a crispy finish on these, but more of a brown sear, and that's what I got. So far things were going well. Food cooked through, good colour, nothing dried out, and nothing burnt on the edges. Then for lunch the next day, my kids couldn't settle on one thing. One wanted fish, the other wanted chicken fries. Thankfully the wide basket helped here because I was able to fit everything in the basket and cook it all at once. I don't bother to preheat for frozen foods, and unfortunately there's no way to skip preheat, so I just let it cook through the preheat cycle. So that meant I had to knock off a few minutes of cook time towards the end. So if you're not a fan of preheating, this may or may not bug you. Let me know in the comments how you feel about preheating. Some like it, some don't. I use the broil setting for browning cheese, the bake setting for making one sheet kebabs, and our favourite baked potatoes, which I could fit 5 potatoes in comfortably into the basket. So this size basket is perfect for 2 to 4 people. This air fryer also has a dehydrate option, but I like to use that setting to proof dough. It does have a minimum time of 1 hour, so I stop the program after 15 minutes and let it sit in there for an hour with the air fryer off. This also saves electricity. If you're a regular here, you know how much I like to bake bread and pizza from scratch, so the lower temperature is definitely a bonus to have whether you want to dehydrate food or for proofing dough. This air fryer gives you 2 helpful alerts, an add food alert and a turn food reminder. Those are generally useful, especially if you're multitasking, but the beeps are loud, like really loud. You can turn them off by holding the time and temperature buttons together for a few seconds, but that turns off all alerts, including the helpful ones. I wish there was a way to just silence the beeps and keep the reminders. You also have the option to switch between Fahrenheit or Celsius by pressing the temperature button for 3 seconds. The dial controls the time and temperature, which works fine. I do wish it also would let you scroll through the modes though, instead of relying on the touchscreen. Touchscreens look nice, but long term I've found they can cause more issues, especially with moisture or fingerprints. It's not a big deal, it's just a small usability thing. When the air fryer is in standby mode, the display will remain lit up, showing the word off. This can be a little annoying. In a way, it kind of forces you to unplug the air fryer, which may or may not bother you. I always unplug my appliances, but this is something I thought would be worth letting you know about. I measured power consumption because that's something people always ask about. So first, this air fryer is rated at 1700 watts, and in real use I saw it peak at around 1600 watts, which is totally normal for an air fryer like this. For the full run, including preheat, it used about 0.23 kilowatt hours, which works out to roughly 3 cents in electricity. When measuring noise levels, it hit about 66 decibels at its loudest, and most of the time it sat somewhere between 62 and 65 decibels while running. So it's definitely not silent, but it's also not obnoxiously loud. Compared to some basket style air fryers I've tested, this one is actually on the calmer side. Cleaning is easy, the basket and tray come out easily and are dishwasher safe. It does use a non-stick coating containing Teflon, which is pretty standard for air fryers. If you're specifically avoiding Teflon non-stick coatings, this probably isn't the one for you. I do have to mention though, when I did my initial burn off, this air fryer did leave a pretty strong plastic smell that lingered for a while. So you definitely want to make sure to run it empty a couple of times and let it air out. It does have built-in safety features like auto shut-off and overheat protection, which is good to see. Honestly, I think this air fryer works so well because of how the airflow is set up. They call it EvenCrisp, but really it just means the heat moves evenly around the food, so you're not babysitting it the whole time. The basket design helps too. The food sits at a good distance from the heating element, which is why things come out evenly cooked and nicely browned. If you like the idea of a wide basket without the big footprint, and you just want an air fryer that's easy to use and gives you consistent results, this one makes a lot of sense. It's the kind of air fryer you can use a few times a week and not have to fight with it. On the flip side, this probably isn't the best choice if you really want a window or an internal light, the option to skip preheating, or if you're looking for smart features or app control. And more importantly, if you're looking for ceramic coatings or PFAS free coating, that's also something to keep in mind. This air fryer keeps winning tests because it does the basics really well. It's consistent, it's easy to use, and it doesn't try to be something it's not. It's not exciting, it's not flashy, but it works, and it works reliably. And honestly, I think that's why it keeps getting recommended. If you want something simple that does the job without a learning curve, this one does make a lot of sense. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, and if you are new here, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.